You got spare game codes or any digital goods? There is a place you can sell them in less than 1 minute. Watch. Go to g2a.com. Click Start Selling. Fast login. Go to My Account and click on Selling tab. Sell new item. Enter name, code, set a price. And done. G2A.com Digital Marketplace. Global selling simplified.
Hello there, welcome to today's second map of GOCL's league, and today we're going to be seeing Reason versus CSGL, and the fight is currently taking place on Cash. I'm Gamers Forge, also known as Harry, and I'm joined here by Milosh. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's pretty darn good, man. I can't be happier with this game. Game number 1 was fantastic. Playing on Cobble, CSGL just completely annihilated Reason Gaming. Total 16-8 if I'm not mistaken. However, this is just a bit of time that we have to say thank you to the awesome guys that are sponsoring GOCL and making all of this happen. Obviously, G2A, what can I say? Last time I got a key, it was for Shadow of Mordor. Pretty darn good game. All is pretty darn secure for that. Twitch, I mean, we're using Twitch. What can I say? They're pretty good. E-Gaming Bets. They have sponsored quite a few of the tournaments that I've casted when it comes to Counter-Strike, so all I have to say is that supporting esports means I love you. And obviously, Steel Series, I don't know, man, I've spent like $100 into just Steel Series mouse pads, and I have like, I don't know, 6 or 7 Steel Series mouse pads in my house, and I just can't seem to stop using them. I don't know why. They're just too good. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I mean, I have to agree.
What do you... So, have you ever owned a Steel Series product?
I've never owned a mouse pad, but I once owned a Steel Series mouse. I can't remember what one, but I have to say I do like them, and I was considering getting one recently. I saw that they've... I'm really bad with mouse names, but one of their gaming mice, I was going to get it.
Sensei?
Oh wait, does that come in yellow, right? I swear they have one in yellow. I don't know. I'm terrible with names.
They have the new Counter-Strike Fade thing, man. That's cool.
Yes, that looked amazing. That was yeah, I saw that. Oh my, how much are they? I'm gonna buy
they're
one.
not expensive actually. They're like 60 or 60-ish euros. I mean, this is a question for everybody in chat. I don't know how many of you own these, but I want to hear it because these are cool as hell. And I remember when they were first released back at ESL 1 Cologne. Everybody was over them. Everybody wanted to get a bite of those, but my buddies Alex Richardson and Jason Kaplan were the first people to get a hold of those, and I was a bit jelly, to say the least.
Yeah, no, I can't blame you. Like that's one hell of an accessory, and I can't think what I'm trying to say. I'm just overwhelmed by how incredibly sexy they are. I'm looking at one right now when I should be casting. Yeah, so yeah,
contain yourself, Harry.
Yeah,
contain yourself.
Sorry. Oh, I'm a bit excited.
But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start this one off. Man number 2 on Cash. The CSGL have 1 point up after winning the first map on Cobble. And Reason Gaming picking up that CT size. CSGL on the T's. This push on A will start the game out. With one, Percy with the second. Percy getting a double of his own. Oscar pushing up. He goes for the triple kill. And oh, baby, a triple. But Glaive, Kobe downtown will take down Oscar and turn it into a 2 versus 1. But look at that. Turn out from behind. It is MNK, but Mav catching him off guard. This is very difficult because he needs to pick up that bomb that is all the way in the back by Quad. And MNK down to 4 health and no armor at all. He's not going to have too much to play with here as Glaive is going up into heaven. And Mav will save the day as Reason Gaming pick up the first round. And we'll see. Maybe CSGL going to go for Tech 9 armor play. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you know, they didn't get that plant, so it would not surprise me if they do go for that. Yeah, just like you said, they're going to be buying a few Tech 9s, some armor, and a little bit of utility here on MNK, so they're going to be going for the bomb plant this round. And, you know, with Reason here, sticking with UMPs and SMGs, you know, those Tech 9s are definitely more favorable in that sort of situation. No head armor, though, on some of the CSGL players, which is a little bit curious whenever you're up against SMGs. So, not too sure what the thinking was there, but I'm sure it's justified in some way. And now it's going to be looking like it's going to be an A-side take here as the smokes and Molotovs do come in, just kind of cornering off the site. There's the smokes for crossover, and now Michu pushing out to the site with a vengeance, does find the kill into Percy. Quickly returned by Hunden though. And suddenly, in a blaze of glory, it does seem like bombs going to be going down for CSGL as they do manage to eliminate both Yugi and Hunden on the site. That's now to 2 versus 4 retake for Reason here.
Holding off the angle, he's trying to push them back, and he will indeed hit one on MNK. Glaive with the MP9 getting the shot, but they're both down to 1 shot to death. That bomb is going to get defused unless Innocent clutches the round and makes it a 3K, winning it out at the end. And Reason Gaming not able to win 2 rounds in a row. They will have their economy reset. CSGL will have a lot of cash to, well, not a lot, but a decent amount of cash to play with, and picking up 1 MAC-10 to face off this full eco from Reason Gaming is a very, very sound choice indeed.
Yeah, Sparrow, just looking to build up that economy so he can grab hold of another AWP, and we've seen him be so good with that AWP so far. It would definitely be a mistake by Reason here to give him the funds necessary to start to plan his reign of doom, but it's not going to be allowed as Michu does find 2 with the AK spray into a main, and then it is returned by Percy. Glaive finding the kill to Sparrow, so they have lost a few more guys than they would have liked, but MNK and Innocent doing a great job of holding this off, and now it's just Glaive with this MAC-10, does get taken down by Innocent. A lovely little shot there, he might have been blind, but he still lands that shot because Innocent is a little bit crazy even on his days off. So, fantastic play there as they do manage to get the second round, and once again, probably just going to be seeing a kind of, eco, maybe a few 5-7s. Yeah, there we go, coming out from Reason Gaming, and they're just going to be looking to do some economic damage here, and we're probably going to be seeing the scoreline go to 1-3 if all goes to plan, if CSGL aim does stay true, just like it has been so far.
I'm liking the MAC-10 buy-up as well, because I don't know why, but I'm a big fan of the SMGs just because of the amount of cash that you can bank up, and when you know you're going to be countering ecos, it's just the best thing to go for. Mishu will open up the first kill. He burns the second as well. It's going to be Percy down, Sparrow pushing up, headshot down on a Yugi, and down to 2 players, Glaive and Mav, with a flash and 2 5-7s. That Glaive lasts alive, and where is he? He's all the way in the back of T. Gonna get shot down with no losses in CSGL, a bomb plant and kills all across the board. They're gonna have a lot to play with. Is Reason Gaming drop a player, so they're gonna be waiting until he's back, but they're finally able to buy. But Harry, what do you think about the position that Reason are in now? What do they buy? What do they hold? What do they do?
Well, they are already they're slightly behind where they wanted to be after winning that pistol round. Losing that second round to the eco on CSGL was not a very smart move, and I know that wasn't what they intended to do by any stretch of the imagination, but they're going to need to really get on top of this. And if CSGL get momentum going, like we've seen in the past, whenever you get momentum going on the T side on cash, it can be very hard to stop. The economy of Reason is still in shambles, so they need to hold on to this round. And do I think they can? Most definitely. They do have a really, really strong hold. They're going to be playing 2 guys towards mid, so it would be a mistake here for CSGL to try to do something about this. As we do see Sparrow kind of hanging back, playing passive, which is good. A really nice call as we are going to actually see 3 guys towards mid. They're going very heavy on the mid control here, and then Percy does find one to meet you, so now suddenly it's 5 versus 4. So, Reason exactly what they want to be. A man advantage and fairly decent health across the board.
Percy taking a bit too much damage there through the spray out that we saw from CSGL. However, losing Mishu is not the best of situations. Obviously, now it's CSGL to try and knock on one of these side stores. So far, it's been just pushes onto the A side as Yugi did invest in AWP, has not put it to good use just yet, but my god, that flick shot. Sparrow will get dropped on the ground. It's now 2 men up for a Reason, and this push will be dedicated on the B set. As soon as that happens, CSGL get their party rolling. Reason Gaming know what's going on, and Glaive is holding the back angles. Moves on up, he spots one, but look at MNK. He turns around a bit too slow, gets shot down, or, well, taking Glaive down. Here's a double kill on a Mav, but MNK on 34 health is not going to be a lot to play with. Still has the bomb in hand. He's running all the way across on the A. Might just be able to get a bomb plant, but he has to be very, very careful. Does have a molly. Try and push people back, but Percy doesn't have to move up. He just will hold the angle and will get the headshot to end the round. Well done. Reason Gaming picking up round number 2 to make it 3-5 for CSGL. So And yes,
Yeah,
MNK
Percy.
is lured. Everybody's like, oh, what? Why are they calling him
Yeah.
MNK? Well, I mean, come on, man. It's in heated situations. It's not like you can really think about the names that much. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same. And you know, just looking quickly down at the scoreboard, Percy, almost like a whole different player, straight away coming into this, 5 kills, top of the leaderboard, both MVPs to his name for Reason. And now, you know, Reason definitely in with a fighting chance of winning this one, having all 5 players playing up to scratch. And that's kind of being shown right now, 2-3. And they just looked so comfortable. I don't know if you noticed that in that last round. They were just so sure of themselves. It did come down to a 3v1. And they have lost a few of them in the previous game, but not this time. They weren't going to allow that to happen. And yeah, they just seem to be in their element, but then saying that, Sparrow finds a wonderful headshot onto Glaive, putting this to a 5 versus 4, as they do get that kill over towards the B-bomb site, but they're still going to be moving in on that. They're just be playing for time, playing for these rotates, and it is working, as we do see Yugi rotating in from mid, so now suddenly the A-bomb site looking fairly weak, and then they do find the kill on a Percy, so maybe now the whole A-bomb site has kind of been opened up, and a boost up into vents. It is looking like they might be playing for A or potentially mid control here, as 2 players are stacked over towards the B-bomb site, so it's going to be a very good read here from Reason Gaming if that is what they decide to do. But it, you know, with their smokes and flashes out on a B, it's looking like it might be a B-side take, which is going to be playing right into Reason's hands here, as they do have 3 players stacked over towards the B-bomb site.
Bad map picks up 2. Here's double, here's a 3K. My god, Mishu is last alive on 56 health yet again, but this time there's no bomb anywhere for him to pick up. It's all the way in between the 3 players of Reason. And I don't know if it was Reason that just got lucky, or CSGL that were, you know, thinking, oh, we'll just fake it on there. And they fell into the trap. Reason Gaming playing for the time, and they will pick up the round. Mishu saves the AK. And I don't think they're going to be buying up anything other than maybe Tech 9. Maybe Oscar going for Tech 9 plus armor, but nothing more than that. No, going for Deagle, actually. Ooh, inspired by Happy and Simple. Obviously. Recent Gaming, able to buy up, still with that op on Yugi, and I have to say, even though he hasn't been getting too many kills with it, it's been reason enough for CSGL to just keep back and not try to go full aggressive onto it. But nicely done from Oscar to open up the round with killing the Glaive.
Yeah, you know, if there's one player you don't want with a Deagle, if you're up against him, it's definitely Oscar. We've seen him pull off some amazing headshots with pistols so far, and he's going to be looking to carry that legacy on into the second map. Percy here, though, finds the kill on Michi, putting this to a 4 versus 4, and he does great damage there onto, I believe that was Innocent inside of Squeaky. Yes, it was. He puts him down to 16 HP. A little bit of damage there through the wall, because sadly, doors are not going to protect you when you're up against this behemoth of a man here onside the site, as he does plenty of damage onto the T side, and already, you know, he's definitely done the damage he needs to, and it is going to be looking like an A side push as they do go out through that smoke. Oscar does get taken out. Innocent, though, with a shot through the door, returning the favor onto Percy, but in a slightly better way as they do find the frag, and now bomb should be going down any second. Probably going to be a plant for A main if they can quite pull it off, but I don't think they'll be able to. It might just have to be a safe plant here as Hunden finds the kill onto Innocent, and now it's all onto MNK with this AK-47, and a great shot coming out from Maeve to, you know, quickly eliminate any sort of chance CSGL had in that round. And just a wonderful play there from Reason. You know, they're just looking so much more confident both in their holds and their retakes right now. I'm really kind of digging the overall vibe coming from them. It doesn't seem anywhere near like they're under as much pressure. They seem really comfortable, especially seeing as this isn't their map pick. This is actually CSGL's. And, you know, while this map is slightly CT-sided, you can just tell in their playstyle that they're feeling a lot more comfortable with things, and I think that was after the little comeback we nearly saw on Cobble. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm definitely kind of sensing a vibe that Reason are kind of in their zone now.
For sure. It seems like Reason have gone in their heads now that, okay, we could have had it. We just started off on the wrong side and weren't really able to play that T side too well in Cobble. However, now they're starting off on the CT side. They're banking up rounds. 4 rounds is not much, but if they can start to snowball things down, then yes, it will work out at the end of it. Reason Gaming, though, they don't have too much cash to play with, and CSGL are banking a lot on this one with the AWP buy-up. 3 AKs, 3 players other than Op remaining versus all 5 from that Danish Pulsar squad. They'll try to make it Still unsure, actually. This is the thing. CSGL know that they have time, so there's no reason for them to go full on aggro. As Sparrow picks up the first here on a glaive. He spots the second as well, going into the actual checkers. But now, Hunden turning around by Coles. He still has one guy, Yugi, to help him out in that position as well. Flash is coming in, but Yugi will just back out of there as this bush will be dedicated onto that B side, though. Mav with one, Oscar with another. Innocent put the frag on him to turn it into a 3v2. Percy and Yugi very, very low in health, and this bomb plant will actually happen in the back of that B site. Yugi getting fragged out. That's the op lost in the round, and last is Percy to get shot down. Oscar with a fantastic 3K to tie it up 4-4. But Recent Gaming still have a decent amount of bank buy-up.
Yeah, you know, CSGL, they really needed to kind of show a little bit more dominance there after we do see Reason managing to take 3 rounds in a row. And they're very quick to get back onto the scene and start snowballing again as they do pick up their first round. And hopefully their second if all goes to plan here, as we are going to be seeing an eco coming out from Reason Gaming. And they're just going to be stacking over towards the B-bomb site. Oscarish finds one, does get quickly returned by Hunden. And now they do have that gun to use. And, you know, Glaive with an AK, that's not what you want, although he does get taken down there. So straight away, they've kind of lost it already. Percy goes down on the A-bomb site, so suddenly then all of that's open. And it's the 2 versus 4 here, just pistols, and Hunden left alive with this AK-47. Just going to be looking to save that over in over towards Toxic Barrels on B. And, you know, are they going to let him get away with it? Looking at their economy, they don't really have too much to go hunting with. But, and, you know, when you look at the flip side, Reason here, they've still got money to buy, even if Hunden does go down, so not going to be too bad, although Sparrow doesn't really care for the numbers game, and he finds him in anyway with that AWP, so no AK-47 for you, Hunden, I'm afraid. And that's going to be the 5th round for CSGL.
But you said the flip side Reason, don't you mean the reason?
That's so cheesy and terrible, but I love it.
I know. People like that kind of stuff. I don't care. YOLO. That's what the kids say, I guess. But there we go. Nishu moving into a main. Not going to find anyone as the smoke will come down. Hunden trying to peek up. Innocent finds him, gets the frag to open this one up. And they are one player up in total. And that's going to help them out a lot here, CSGL, to continue on. A lot of damage done, but Yugi missing that shot as he is looking down from a quad in the back of the A side. Not going to find anybody there. We go. Glaive the headshot on Oscar. He does take a lot of damage, and at this point, it's Reason Gaming that are taking way too much damage for what it is, and Yugi will get dropped. The AWP is no longer in their hands, and Percy sprays everywhere, but barely connects it to MNK. Oh my god, this is a bit terrible. Glaive and Mav are still alive. Now Mav somehow able to do more damage. Still will need a kill at the end of this. Here we go. Glaive coming up, makes it a 2v2. But he has his knife out, and Sparrow spots him. He sees him there, but he's unable to get the shot. On to Sparrow. Now, a 2 versus 1. MNK gets one, down to 14 health, and they're around 14, 19 each, and Glaive will get the shot, but does he have enough time? He should have enough time at the end of this one. Oh my god, Reason Gaming pick up the round to tie it 5-5, and what a close matchup it has been, at least on this second map. The AWP is saved at the end of it, and Glaive, he's looking pretty happy.
Yeah, you know, every reason to be happy. That was a fairly good round there. I mean, CSGL, they were so close to getting that, and they do get taken down. Reason Gaming re-establishing a little bit of dominance here, not letting CSGL get the ball rolling, as it were, because when you start snowballing on the T side, it's been very difficult for CTs to kind of get back into the rhythm of things, as we saw earlier on. But, you know, Reason looking fairly comfortable still, 5-5 currently. And this map being slightly CT-sided, I would argue it's not as CT-sided as people make out. Maybe like an 8-7 isn't too uncommon, 9-6 thereabouts. And I think, you know, we could definitely see something like that, although I get the feeling CSGL are going to make this a lot closer than that. So, you know, taking a look at this currently, 3 versus 5 here. And CSGL, they are down 2 men. And they haven't done a lot of damage in return for the, you know, they've kind of died in vain a little bit here. Is pretty much full HP on everyone other than Hunden, who's down to 50. But, you know, that's not what you want at the cost of 2 guys. So here we're going to be seeing smokes and whatnot heading on to B. But I think that should kind of maybe fake out a rotate. 2 guys already over here on B, though. Reason are very comfortable right now with how they're playing. Hunden trying to take the aim duel in mid with MNK, and Michu does get returned by Yugi there, so Zulo not looking good. The returns definitely in Reason's favor. CSGL just kind of struggling to find their footing a little bit here as they push onto the B-bomb site. 2 versus 4, just trying to go for that bomb plant.
Okay, fragging down Maeve, or everybody saying it's lured. Yes, we know it's lured, but MNK spotted at the end and taken down. Nicely done. Double spray at the end of it from Hunden, and Reason Gaming are now up 6-5. Well, CSGL are not too far away from the actual mark that you were saying. You know, 6-7 rounds on the T side of a map like Cache. They have been going, well, not too much for that mid-map control, which is the power of the T side. It's not too shabby, at least for now. And if they can get a couple rounds in the next few ones remaining in this half, they should be set to go on the second half. It is already much better than what Reason were doing on the first map on Cobble. The CSGL are looking forward to this one as much as I am, hopefully. 4 AKs, a Tech-9 Percy sneaking in through the smoke, not going to find anybody just yet. And they used Hunden just to try and get some information in. Instead of dragging at the end, Glaive will be getting a headshot on Oscar to take him down. And it's down to a 3 versus 4 again. CSGL are never really able to consolidate the entry frags that they're getting. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, the trade's definitely favoring Reason here. You know, CSGL, I don't know, it just seems like maybe they're sitting out their pushes a little bit too much whenever they're trying to get this information, and it's costing them quite severely here. Reason, on the other hand, having fairly decent holds for the most part, making good use of utility, and then MNK, sorry, just pushing out here onto the A-bomb side, does find the kill on a Sparrow, but Hunden's still alive here inside a quad, just wreaking havoc with that M4A1S, does do a little bit of damage, gets taken out of 5 HP though. 1 versus 5, however, for MNK or Lord, and that's not going to be good for him. There we go, there's Maeve with the defuse. That's going to be the 7th round now for Reason Gaming, putting them 2 rounds ahead of CSGL, and you know, really far ahead economically.
Yep, they are starting to bank up a bit too much cash. CSGL, what they're thinking about right now, but at least what they're doing is trying. Oh no, actually they bought. Okay, so they're like, oh, what are they gonna do now? Well, they're gonna force buy apparently on round 13. This is actually a good idea because round 13 you can force buy. On round 14 you'll eco, and then 15 you'll have some cash to play with. Obviously you pretty much go for a force buy like they have right now. Might just be able to squeeze a few AKs here and there. But Oscar is trying to push up. He's going to spot one by quad, and all that he's trying to do is rattle my bones right here. Michu with the headshot. MNK with the second through quad on to Yugi. Hunden will frag on a Sparrow, but Michu picking up the AWP through from his teammate. Oh my god, and Hunden takes him down. 2 players left alive from Reason Gaming. A 3 versus 2. Michu holding the back angle, gets another one. Mav's the last alive, and he is spotted down at 13 health. Innocent is looking to clean this one up with a deagle, but no. Everybody from CSGL is fairly low on health. Mav down to 12, and he will just back out of there. Maybe try again an exit frag, but not much after that. Nicely done. That was just the way that Michi was given that op from his teammate, and then he just proceeds to get a couple quick kills with the op.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that was really nice. And the shot as well through forklift, it's like he knew, you know, that was brilliant. Michu there really showing up that round, just showing that Sparrow isn't the only one who's really capable with an AWP. And now suddenly Reason Gaming kind of on the back foot. They're going to have to eco this round. Or what I say eco, it's like some weird force. A few Famises at 5-7 here and there, and they have still got that AWP on side of Yugi, so it's not terribly bad. Well, if they lose this, then they will be hard ecoing for the final round.
Oh, well, met Oscar taking down one, but Glaive refragging almost immediately. Dennison is pushing in. Reason Gaming will take down Michu here with Hunden, and that is the op removed out of play for CSGL. And it's again them down to 3 players, but Sparrow is down to 6 health. They spot out one tapping onto Percy, but they at least make it a 3 versus 3. But now Reason Gaming, it's all up to them. What do they want to do? Do they stack all the players on B? Do they go for a 2-1 split? And they will actually go for a 2-1 split. But losing Hunden means that A side is completely open. The bomb is going to get picked up. But I'm not sure that CSGL know what's going on here. Rotate coming in to try to put Yugi in a power position to hold off with the AWP on that A site. Easy spotted. Not just yet. Yugi, there we go. He gets spotted, taken down MNK, but Spero will frag him out. Remember, this is round number 14, and Reason Gaming do not have a lot of cash. They're gonna need every single bit that they can afford in the next one. Spero getting fragged out of it. Molly getting dropped into a main. Glaive still on 100 against 100 from Innocent. Suddenly, CSGL find themselves in a power position. But Glaive will have to make it a 3K as he goes in for the defuse, the flash. Playing mind games. Molly at the last second. He takes down Innocent, but he does not have enough time or enough health to go for the bomb. And this means Glaive will perish. No, he's going to survive. But Reason Gaming lose out the round and make it 7-7. This is just dead on close, Harrius. Reason Gaming now, saving up the AK, will just buy up whatever they can in CSGL with a rifle advantage.
Yeah, you know, you'd expect to see CSGL win this and put themselves in a great advantage here for the second half. A7 is not shabby one bit as we approach the final round here of the first half of Reason versus CSGL. And they're going to be a nice little boost coming out here for in mid as Innocent does find the kill onto Yugi here, equalizing the numbers into a 4 versus 4, but then suddenly Oscarish putting things into a 3 versus 4. And we've noticed really heavy mid presence coming out here from Reason Gaming, but, you know, with only really like pistols and that AK, it's not really the fight you want to be taking is this mid push. So they are going to be falling back onto the A bomb site and just a full rotate coming out towards B, and that's a smart move though from Reason Gaming as bomb is trapped over on the site. Can Glaive find the kill on Mitchell? He finds one, he gets the second, and now he's one. Sorry, now it's 3 versus 2. I'm a bit ahead of time. Now it's a 1 versus 3.
Glaive will ace the round. Wow. Whew. I cannot believe that. Glaive aces the round with the defense all on his own, watching from headshot. Pretty darn good. Reason Gaming now, they're up 1 round, and they are on that T side. And we'll just have to see how CSGL managed to play it out. 8-7, definitely not too bad of a scoreline for CSGL, especially 7 rounds on the T side. Pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. A lot of it's going to come right down to this pistol round. I mean, if CSGL take this, and they're going to be quite competently ahead. 2 rounds lead is going to be phenomenal for them on the CT side. But here comes the B push coming out here from Reason Gaming. A little bit of damage done back and forth, but Percy finds one. He's going for the second. He does get taken down. Sorry, Glaive does get taken down. Quickly returned by Percy. Percy with a 2K here. And now he's going to be seeing the bomb going down on A, and they do think it's going to be B, so this could go really well as long as they just hold on to this B bomb site, because the bomb's all the way over on A, and CSGL are completely convinced now that the bomb's on B. They're still pushing, they can't hear it ticking. If they just took the time to listen, then they could make this cool. And when we see Mitchie running back, as they do realize that bomb is actually all the way over on the A bomb site, Innocent here just waiting for the push, does get that kill onto Hunden. 3 versus 3, bomb planted, and it's been ticking for so long here as Reason doing a stellar job at this fake. They really did commit. And now CSGL in for the retake. 2 versus 3, good nade from Percy. And then 2 inside of A main where the bomb's planted for. Hello. Didn't manage to take down Mitchu. Kind of tripped over my own tongue there. And yeah, there we go. Innocent does make it out of there. 2 HP, does keep that armor. And they'll be able to use that in the coming rounds. I can't speak. I need to have a drink. Excuse me.
Let me grab a whiskey, ladies and gentlemen. But here we go. Reason Gaming are on 9-7. They're going to have a couple AKs, a Galil, a UMP, and a MAC-10, and a lot of Molotovs. These have been proving so extremely powerful on the T side. CSGL, they're going to be buying up 2 Deagles, actually pushing up. Mishu almost getting the second there. Will not connect, however. Percy with 1. MNK getting a second of his own onto Hunden. No, MNK or... What's his name again? God damn it, I just forget. Will get shot down. Glaive through the smoke, gets a headshot on an Innocent, makes it a 2 versus 3, but they know the angles, they know what's going on here. CSGL just keeping the plays at range. Glaive will get shot down by Spero. Flash coming in, but Spero turning around, he tags onto Yugi. He's out of 10 health. They can do this, but they need to push up together. Percy takes down 1, he spots the second, and Spero getting a single kill, not going to be able to do more than that, and my lord, Percy, he ends up getting a 4K. This is, where's Percy on his team? He's second with 17 frags. Very, very different than what we saw on our first map, Harry.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was kind of the player that we were cracking a few jokes here and there about, and then he's really showed us up by just coming into this game and doing phenomenally, just like we noticed he started to do in the Cobblestone game. And then quick pick by Glaive into mid. They're still not messing around here with CSGL. They're not giving them any chance, as Glaive going full on aggressive with a kill under Sparrow. Is he trying to go for another ace, I wonder? It does look that way as he finds the third, but then Yugi, you know, he doesn't care for aces, and he does pick up 2 kills of his own. That's going to be a really quick round for Reason, and a round that they definitely needed. That's going to put them at 11-7 here on the side that, you know, slightly weaker in terms of, you know, actual like percentage win rates. This map is, you know, CT sided for the most part, but Reason showing that they really don't care for that. They don't care for statistics, and spare a little bit of team damage in mid here. I don't know what that was about, but anyway, let's take a look at this round as Reason do boost the player up. Yugi does get taken down. Great damage though under the 2 guys in mid. Really nice crossfire from Percy. And Glaive there in mid. Nice nade. Innocent here being the only guy left alive in mid. Rotate coming in from A. Michu. 100 HP and a dream as he finds the kill on the Glaive. Putting this into a 4 versus 3. Shots going back left, right, and center, but this is somehow being very advantageous for CSGL. Even though at the start of the round it looks so promising for Reason Gaming.
Reason losing out, but oh my god, Percy peeks out, gets the headshot on to Mishu. Now 100 rotating back, he's down to 16 health. Percy on 25 of his own, but Innocent, the only person that's really low on health on his team. Oscar, MNK are on top health. Obviously, MNK is lured. Yes. You know, it's not what's his name again. Well, they're going to try to make that push onto the B side as Innocent is waiting for the perfect moment. He knows he's low on health, so he does not want to push out and make it way too obvious. This positioning here. Oscar holding off in the back of the set on a headshot. Takes down Mav. Last is 100 with a 1-tap. And CSGL pick up the round and make it 11-8. Still in hands of Reason Gaming, but Reason should be able to buy up again. Might just be going for a mixed AK Tech 9 play. And then CSGL are banking a lot on this one. It's not... You can't gain a victory when you're playing on the CT side if you win a CT round and then you lose the one after it. Your cash gets reset every single time. You need to start winning, 2, 3 in a row at the minimum, or it's not going to work out for you at all.
Yeah, looking at this round, CSGL, like you said, looking to really close this round out as a win, just for their economy's sake here, but Reason don't want that as Percy does get that return frag in mid, putting this into a 4 versus 4, equalizing those numbers out once again, but Sparrow looking for that mid peak here, does find the kill on a Percy. Now suddenly CSGL have this man advantage, and the Tech 9 push out into A is silenced as MNK does find the kill onto Hunden, putting this into a 2 versus 4, and at this point Reason might just be looking to save. They've done very little damage, but then Glaive opening this up with a huge double kill here. What a play inside of mid, and now 2 versus 2. Bomber's gonna be heading back, probably over towards the B bomb site. Then again, I spoke way too soon, and it does like it's gonna be going towards A, as they do push into main, and with just Lord over on the A bomb site, over on quad, a very strong position indeed, although he does kind of move off. Looking into mid, because right now he's got so many angles that are open, and if he just keeps looking there for a little bit longer, he's going to find the head of Maeve, and he does find one, and now it's all on Glaive at this point, and the fact that their 2 names rhymed really put me off. Glaive finds the kill on the Lord here. 1 versus 1. Just Oscar here, and if anyone could do this for CSGL, it is definitely Glaive. He's been so phenomenal so far in these games, and bombs going down here. Oscar is just pushing, trying to get him, thinking it might be a fake, but it isn't, and that could be considered a main plant, although not quite. And a little bit of pre-fire never hurt anyone, as Oscar does find the kill on the Glaive, and he's going to get that defuse, locking in the 20th. Oh my goodness, locking in that round here for CSGL, and there we go. That's going to be 11-9 now. CT's getting these rounds they need so desperately. Like we said, their economy though has taken a fairly substantial hit from that, although when you look over at Reason Gaming's, theirs is fairly weak as well. So they will be force buying, on the understanding of course that CSGL are going to kind of be on a somewhat broken buy. I mean, they've gotten the diffuse kits here and there, but utility wise they're not doing too great. And if they can kill a few players this round, then that could really kind of spell disaster for CSGL's economy, especially if we see a win coming out here from Reason.
Yeah, and Reason are looking for it. Definitely 3 Tech 9s can wreak havoc up close. However, Innocent holding off. MNK on top of the actual map as he takes down 1. Innocent frags for the second. Mishu with a double spray. to take down the rest. And Glaive is the last versus 4. AF.exe is on. There you go. Definitely active. But Mishu will take him down all the way in the back of quad. Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that that is just banter. It's not. Don't take it seriously. Just to let you guys know. But CSGL on 10-11. They're definitely getting this one back, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, slightly CT-sided, so what you'd expect is for this to be a close game after how close that first half was. But yeah, CSGL now on a 3-win streak in a row for these rounds, so Reason not winning one since the early on pistol, and it's not looking good for them as they are eco this round, so hopefully CSGL should be able to secure a 4th round here in rapid succession, I mean. So that should take things to 11-11, and then things are really going to start to heat up. Reason are definitely going to be under some pressure, but good damage coming out from Reason Gaming onto the CSGL players. Not quite finding a kill as Percy does get taken down, but 2 of them taking down a 30 HP. That's not too shabby with the bomb, and the rest of the team stacked over towards the B bomb site. The push is on. They don't check the corner.
On, please, MNK or Lord coming down, and Lord will just end the life of Glaive at the end of this one to get CSGL in the tie-up. 11-11, ladies and gentlemen. This is really heating up. This has been back and forth, and Reason Gaming have not been able to find a single round in the past 4. As their cash is starting to dwindle, my lord. Yugi with that op in hand, 4 AKs, and that is a reference to a certain video game that I hope somebody knows in the stream chat. Maeve holding off from Toxic, not going to find anyone just said, but look at that. Innocent is going for the counter boost, and he will find Yugi, drops him on the ground, and that is a fantastic bit of play. A bit lucky, but here we go. Sparrow with the second gets the headshot on a Percy, and 2 players eliminated from Reason Gaming. The third. God, Innocent peeks up at the perfect, there you go, stronghold quote. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. CSGL with 5 players up, no damage taking at all, ladies and gentlemen. Reason Gaming with 2 remaining. They're going to have to direct their push down onto mid. Glaive finds one on an Innocent, and they're going to turn around onto the B side, but that is already, and oh my god, Glaive, oh it's that, takes the head off of Mishu, and they're moving down onto the B side. There is one on the defense, that is Oscar. Glaive has still not turned, oh my god, how does he do it? He takes down Sparrow again. Are you kidding me? Down in the town and may try to move around, will get shot and turns it into a 2 versus 2. How are they doing this? Reason Gaming do have a chance now, rotating onto the A site. Less than 20 seconds remaining. They're gonna go for that bomb plant, and Glaive will be leading the charge along with Mav, his teammate. And I'm not too sure, but Glaive is looking for an ace in this one.
Yeah, definitely. He's at 1 already, and his skill just seems to know no bounds here. Maeve, though, does find the kill onto Lord. And now it's a 2 versus 1 here with just the 2 Reason Gaming players left. And there it is. Maeve with a double and Glaive with 3. The rhyming twins, they do manage to secure that round. And it almost seemed like all hope had been lost there. But Maeve and Glaive just showing things that, you know, showing that they are not to be messed with. Even in those situations where it really seems like CSGL should win. They do manage just to come out on top, and it just shows you how well they can do under pressure. So that's something I've been really impressed with currently from Reason. And, you know, it just seems to know no bounds. They just keep on doing these situations where it almost seems impossible, and then they pull them off.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like they're always trying to kick it up at the perfect timing, and this is the perfect time to do it. Reason Gaming now up 12-11. They're going for a full AK buy. They don't have a lot of cash, but CSGL are in the same boat as we speak. In my mind, this is the round that will decide this map. Percy missing missing that headshot, but Mishu is obviously still alive on 39 health. Percy on 45, but here's the spray down. Yugi gets the shot on Innocent to take him down. Glaive now rotating back. Vents are broken. The push is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Glaive turning around, but Oscar frags on it too. He's finally taken down by Mav, dealing a bit of extra team damage there. Sparrow trying to hold on before his teammates. Mishu peeks up with a bit of a mistimed flash there, but Sparrow with a couple of his own and makes it a 2 versus 1. Mav has to be really careful here, but I don't know why Sparrow is peeking up. That bomb will go for the plant. Mav versus Lord, and can the Legend of 1.6 hold this one off? Mav is playing a bit of a sneaky game here. He turns around. He's not going to find the head just yet, and here we go. Taps him at the end with 5 health remaining. Mav will save the day to make it 13-11 in CSGL. CSGL, they're going to have to eco this one.
Yeah, we said it was going to be a close game, and just look at this scoreline. I would say it doesn't get closer than this, but I get the feeling it's going to, you know. I really do think this is going to run on for a little bit longer yet. Reason Gaming, they should be able to lock in their 14th round here, as they do have rifles up against what is essentially an eco team. We are just going to be seeing a few 5.7s, a P250, and a few P2Ks here and there. And that single flash, Innocent gets taken down in the mid. Finding a thing on a glaive, putting him down to 70 HP, but still, that's not too good here. A trade would have been nicer. Although, what do you expect on a pistol round? That was only a P2K at the end of the day. So, what are you going to do here? 5 versus 4, and a lot of mid control, a lot of map control for Reason Gaming. So, definitely, you know, it's in their ballpark. They should be able to do this. A little bit of a team flash there. Percy does not manage to find that kill. And here's May versus Oscar, and he does come out on top. MNK does kind of get a frag to try to equalize the numbers a bit. Now they do have that AK on Sparrow, so maybe they can make something happen here, but who knows? Bomb's going to be going down over on the B bomb site, and a full-on rotate coming out from Reason here. They are fully set up here in good afterplant positions to make this work. And considering it's only pistols here for CSGL Edge's side, then it's not looking all too great. Sparrow might be able to find the kill here on it. Onto Yugi inside of vents. It is very tense here, and he gets one. And, you know, they might actually consider going for this, although they have got 2 AKs there, so they're probably just going to save them, and that's indeed what they're doing. Although Sparrow didn't actually get it, so now this is a little bit awkward as he does go back for it, and Glaive finds the head. And, yeah, no, they're just going to be looking to save that AK.
There you go. A fairly wise decision. What they were trying to do is just send 1 or 2 of those players to try and peek in. They had only pistols, so they wouldn't really be losing anything at the end of it, so why not just try? However, they're feeding Reason a bit, a couple players here and there, $600 in the end of it in total. You have to think about the economy as well, but CSGL now will be able to buy. The AK being saved up by Lord in the previous round, 3 M4s. I'm surprised that people are still using the M4A1S, but I guess it's balanced.
I love the M4A1S.
It's not the one that we had before,
lovely.
man. It's like when they did the Opry balancing, where you couldn't really like do the whole strafe jumping. There we go. Sparrow grabs the second. No need for the old version of the AWP for that. Mav peeks up. He's tagged, but will be able to control that spray very, very nicely. Mishu picking up. Grenade coming down, and Kobe. Double kill from Mishu. Last is Glaive, and somehow he gets the frag on a Mishu. Turns it into a 3 versus 1. But he's all on his own with 24 health. Needs to get that bomb plant.
Oh, you know, if anyone could do this, it would be Glaive here. 24 HP and an AK. And let's not forget his little bag full of dreams. That flash does come out, and he does have to look away for it. So Lord does find the kill there. And that's going to be the 12th round for CSGL. So, you know, things still getting a lot closer, as Reason are going to have to be forced onto an eco, which they're probably going to have to take on the chin if they're going to want to have any chance of winning this. We might be seeing a force buy coming out, but I severely doubt it. No, there you go. They are just going to eco this in the knowledge that, you know, they'll be able to turn it around, hopefully, in the next round. So if all goes to plan, there should be a free win here for CSGL on this round, taking things to 14-13, which, you know, I think it's still going to be closer. I think it's still going to be closer than that. And Oscar just, oh my goodness, in the blink of an eye with a wonderful 4K there, showing why the M4A1S is the gun of choice. Sure, he could have done it all with the M4A4, but the M4A1S is just far superior, and it looks amazing. So I don't care that you hate it. That's fine.
No, I don't hate it. I love the M4, but it's just it's not as it was before. I'm not too sure. Like, I'm glad that the patch that they wanted to pull with, like, they wanted to even add less bullet penetration versus armor in the M4A1S, which would have been just terrible at that point. There you go. Percy is moving up, trying to hold off two of the angles down in mid, but the rest of the players from Reason Gaming are trying to move in through. To move into B main. There's Glaive leading the charge once again. 2 players waiting around. Player 6, aka Innocent, winning in on the rotate. They know what's going on, and they rotate all the players, at least 3 of them, to try and defend that B side, leaving 2 and 1 on the A site. Glaive taken down to 67 health as Lord is still watching A main, but no push just yet. They're going to be waiting for a few more seconds to probably push on that 40-second mark. Everybody, there's no grenades to play with. This is the thing. They're going to have to go in dry. Well, the first frag from Oscar as Innocent peeks and gets the second on a Percy. Sparrow peeked up, he takes down one. Glaive spotted down in the middle of the site, and he's last as Yugi. And Sparrow with a nice triple feed at the end of it to make it 14-14. And Reason Gaming, they're starting to feel the heat. This might just turn into at least a possibility of an overtime if CSGL can grab this round.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to look like Reason are going to be kind of playing for the overtime as they don't force buy this round, and they're going to be going for the buy in the next. So that means that if all goes to plan, we're going to be seeing some overtime coming out. But let's see how CSGO Lounge's team react to that. Because as things stand, it doesn't look like they're too keen to the idea. They do manage to find the kill into mid. They're not letting them get away with too much, but then Yugi finds the kill on a mid shoot. MNK on the Glaive. And suddenly things have been equalized. 3 on 3 as Percy landing a beautiful 1-dig onto Lord, and a nice nade coming out here from Yugi. Puts us into a 2 versus 3. If they can win this on an eco, then that could spell disaster here for CSGL.
Barrow peeking up. Wow, he gets the shot on a Percy, equalizes it to a 2 versus 2. But look at Yuki holding off. And we'll spot Oscar. That is a bit of a free kill here. Sparrow moving on. Remember, this is an eco, and Reason Gaming able to get the round with Yugi getting a 4K at the end of it. CSGL must feel terrible at the end of this one, and Reason Gaming making it happen when they should not have had a hope in hell. They'll continue with this one. CSGL now buying up 4M4s and an AWP on Sparrow with kits all over. Don't be a loser, buy a diffuser, obviously. DT side 101. Up of the sides. April get picked up. 4 AKs for the rest. Sparrow though. First shot on a Percy to take him down, but Yugi is still alive with an op of zone. Won't make himself heard.
Reason Gaming here just rotating back towards A. I'm going to be a man down, so that's made things a lot more awkward for them, but a fairly okay read here coming out, and they might just be going for an A sort of push. It's going to depend on if they can get this pick, and, you know, running into both Michu and Lord there over on the site. That's not a combination you want to be heading into. They have got the utility to make this work, so maybe we're going to be seeing something happen here as Yugi's just checking these corners with the AWP, trying to find a frag wherever he can. Michu in a nice little boost spot here. They might not be able to account for that as he does go on top of red. And, you know, the push kind of slow, but it doesn't look like it's happening as the smokes do go out. London doesn't quite manage to find a kill. Then, never mind, spoke too soon. He takes down Michu and puts us into a 4 versus 4 here. Smokes coming out, and they do have sight control. But Sparrow doesn't care for smokes as he gets the kill through it. With that AW, putting this into a 3 versus 4 retake here for the CT side. So they're by no means out of this yet. As Innocent finds a second, and that orb's just going to be sticking out a little bit too far. MNK finds a kill onto Yugi, and then that's it. We're going to be having overtime here as it goes to 15-15. Reason Gaming versus CSGO Lounge on Cash, which is map 2. So, you know, CSGO Lounge really hoping that they can take this. Of course, if they do, then that means it's all GG's for them. But Reason have just done such a phenomenal job after that first Cobblestone game to come back and do this on CSGL's map choice of all the times to do it as well. You know, how do you think they've been playing so far?
I really do think CSGL have had an advantage all night just because of the way that they've been calm and collected when they're playing. Our Reason Gaming, it's very evident that with Glaive dropping a 30 bomb, there's something going on. Like, he's just going out of his mind. Mav on 22 kills as well, 21 for Percy. So that is versus 25, 26, and 25 on the CSGL side. It really is showing that it's not just about the frags at this point. It really is about who knows how to hold off those pushes coming in from the T side onto the sites, who can read the other team better than the other. And this is the thing, having that op is not just to get a kill or two, it's about scouting out where the enemies are not. They're on the other side of the map. And that's the information you need to relay to your teammates. But apparently this is MR5. So we're going to have MR5 16K. So $16,000 for each player. Obviously, 5 rounds per half. We'll see how this one pans out in Ogre time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us know. Who do you think can take this? This is tied as hell. Recent Gaming versus CSGL. CSGO Lounge. Our first overtime cash. There we go. Mishu, entry frag as CSGL are on the CT side. He's looking for the second. Drops map through the ground. And that is the opener, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, you know, CSGL showing that they're here to put on a show, and that's about it. As they go into this round with a really strong double kill straight away from the aggressive play with Michu, and then Sparrow with a wonderful headshot onto Yugi, putting this into 2 versus 5, and then Oscarish finding that kill into Percy as well on a Glaive. But I mean, you know, they're by no means out of this yet, as Glaive very much still a huge threat here to CSGL. I mean, is he capable of the 1v5 when everyone's kind of shooting at him? Maybe. He could have gone full on Neo from the Matrix there, but not quite. And, you know, that's going to mean that they do manage to get the first round of overtime here. CSGL, 1 round ahead currently, and I would say they're going to be looking for... I would say 4 would be a great number. I'd say they could do a lot if they get 4 rounds. And I don't think that's by any means out of the question. They could, in theory, bleed the economy of Reason dry if Reason keep doing these buys. If they manage to get a few in rapid succession, I think that's the dream. And it is looking like it's going to be a full-on A-side take here.
There we go. Mishu opens up again. Innocent with a second, but Percy able to frag on a MNK. Mishu, though, escaping that ball on fire. Will be able to drop down, drop that bomb. Carrier as well. Glaive so low in health. Grenade being landed by Mishu. He gets taken down. Oh my god, this is COD 4 all over again. As Glaive moves up, he still has 3 players to go through. And Oscar holds in from A main. He's spotting out Glaive, and here's the headshot to end the round. The CSGL are now up 17-15. Yes, Ogre time. See it in the stream chat. It's my swamp. Get out of my swamp. Isn't that how it goes?
It's how it goes, yeah. But my god, never do that ever again. Oh, that's phenomenal. I want that to be my new ringtone. That was great.
Exactly.
Just because it was you doing it, I think. It makes it so much more personal to me. That was lovely.
I don't know. I think Shrek is life. I think Shrek is love. I don't know. There has to be some love here and there. But I don't think there's too much love between Mav and Sparrow. As Mav's down to 18 health, 14 on Sparrow, but Percy gets one of his own to refrag. His teammate Yugi will fall to the ground. Percy moving up. He spots out Mishu, gets the shot right before he peeks down. And Oscar, though, refragging. This is just 1 kill after the other, and is so extremely important, especially for that CT side. Whenever they lose a player, it's very important to get a frag as quickly as possible on the other team. Keep yourself at least at an equilibrium, because losing 1 player means you're not able to rotate on the sites quickly enough. You don't have enough players already positioned on the site to go for the defense. Well, right now CSGL are looking pretty darn good, though the bomb is being fired all the way on the B site. I think Glaive, I'm not too sure why Glaive is leading first, but he's on 13 health. Sparrow, though, is waiting around. He spots Glaive, takes him down, and that's the bomb on the ground confirmed as well. Both Percy and Hunted are rotating back on the B side. Oscar dropping into Checkers. He drops one, takes him down, and that bomb's on the ground. Percy all on his own, tries to go for the pickup, but no. SGL pick up round number 3 in this overtime first half.
Yeah, you know, looking at things, CSGL looking really confident right now. This is just like how on form they were back on Cobble, and they've come into this overtime with a vengeance. They are not wanting Reason to get so much as 1 round, and they've done a brilliant job of that so far. They're going to be taking it to 15-18, and like I said, if they get 4 rounds, I would say that they're in a very, very comfortable position. Even currently with 3 rounds, that is, I'd say that's easily at least double overtime minimum. With how they've been playing so far. Innocent does find a kill onto Maven mid, and once again, a really strong start here from CSGL. And he finds the second. Glaive does go down. Glaive not even sure what happened there. Just kind of left standing with his hopes and dreams shattered before him. Percy gets the return frag before getting traded out by Oscar and Azor. And Yugi now 1 versus 4. Does get taken out by Michu. And that's the 4-round mark that I gave them. And, you know, if they can get 5, I would say that maybe we'll be seeing this be GG.
Yeah, kind of, yes. As you were saying, it is possible to dry up the enemy team when you're playing in overtime, even if it is MR5 16K. And Reason Gaming definitely are feeling the burn. Speaking of that, Innocent will be lobbing down that Incendiary to open up the round here. Glaive moving up. Tech9 is all that he has, and it really is showing, especially with that Glil, how far Recent Gaming have gone down with no bomb plants in this entire overtime. CSGL looking for a 5-0, and Kobe from Mishu onto Hunden will frag him out of existence. That is an entry frag that Recent Gaming cannot afford to give away. The second, Lord is going full on aggressive. Will be able to get the second. And if Innocent with one more, dropping one in mid warehouse, and his 2 players left on Reason, I think this half is over right now. But this is Counter-Strike. You never know what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Well, then that said, Innocent does find a great kill on a Maven. Now it's just Yugi with this Galil here. And not that this gun isn't great or anything. It's just, it's not as good as an armada of M4s and AWPs. And that's going to be the perfect streak there from CSGL as they do manage to get 5 rounds. Phenomenal play there from them. And they're just looking to pick up a single round now on the T side. So, you know, they should feel not too terribly pressured right now, and hopefully that's going to go towards them succeeding in this. But Reason, you know, at the same time, on the opposite end of the scale, Reason have all or nothing to fight for right now. They've come this far, and I don't think they're going to be wanting to lose just yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe see this drag out a little bit longer in this epic battle of the Titans. Really, in all honesty, CSGL versus Reason Gaming here. And I can't think what I was just about to say, but it was really funny. So, you know, let's just, you know, I'm good. Anyway.
Oh, there you go. Funny stuff. Nice meme, bro. Yuki gets the shot on Innocent. MNK or Lured is holding off. And CSGL losing up the first player. Of course, that is Innocent, but still a lot of grenades to play with. They're going to need every single one of those to actually go inside and push onto these sites. And I think they might just go for maybe a push onto A, but it's going to be in sort of like a mid-split as well. We'll see how it pans out as Hunden actually moving up, using that enemy smoke as cover. And Incendiary or Molly being lopped in as Percy is holding off on the A side all on his own. 2 players the walkway, but everybody will be rotating back in onto the B side. There we go, Yuki with one on to Lure to frag him out, and Spero a bit too slow with the shot. Kobe coming in, doing a bit extra damage as Glaive still holding off from checkers themselves. And Oscar goes in, finally able to refrag, but does it really matter at this point? It's Spero all on his own. He gets an extra shot on the Yuki, but Hunden is just waiting for the perfect moment to drop down. Spero just backs off out of it and just trying to do some damage here as time is over. Kills at the end of it, dropping, maybe trying to save a weapon here and there. Don't matter in overtime, especially in MR5 16K. So CSGL, they are still 1 round away from victory. And Reason Gaming, they're going to have to win every single one on this CT side. Extra pressure for the Danish Pulsa. They actually want to take in OT2.
Yeah, definitely here. And CSGL, the pressure's on a little bit now because they don't want to give Reason too much confidence here. And they want to continue with the same aggression. Innocent finding the kill on Hunden, quickly returned by Yugi. That might have been a better idea for him just to pull back, but he wanted to keep that aggression going, try to catch them off guard. This is a 4 versus 4 here. And definitely Reason Gaming going to be feeling this a lot harder than CSGL are. Losing a player on the CT side is arguably a good bit worse than the T side with Glaive, you know, quickly into this to equalize those numbers kind of on a, I can't think of what the word would be, on like a tactical plane here. Not on the literal sense, but he's definitely kind of opened up Reason's tactical perspective right now by getting that frag. Glaive just noticed his MNK there, and now it's a 2 versus 4. And, you know, with 2 players on each site, this is going to be an even fight for CSGL no matter where they go. And that's really not what you want. You do not want your fights to be even by any stretch of the imagination.
Yep, and Mishu rotating back, able to grab the bomb, but he's going to be moving up onto that A side with Oscar. It's going to be very difficult at this point. There are 2 trying to break, and even if they do break through onto that A side, there's already Glaive in a position to just shut them down, and DT will get 1 Percy for the second to end the round. And now CSGL on 20-17. Reason Gaming need to win the 3 next rounds, or it's all ogre for them. CSGL only 1. They are going for a full AK buy. You can't. They don't want to get to the point where Reason were in the previous half, where Reason Gaming literally had no money at the end of it. They needed to buy a Galil and a Mac 10 just to keep people from using a pistol at the end of it. But here we go. No breakthroughs just yet. Mishu exchanging a bit of fire, getting taken down to 71 health. But it seems like Innocent and his buddies are lining up for that push on A. Smokes and grenades in general will be lobbed down onto that A set with only 2 on there waiting around. Yugi watching from Xbox. And here's Innocent with his own smoke trying to weed out the competition as the push will be happening. Ladies and gentlemen, push is going in. The bomb will get planted, and it seems like I cannot see crap right now. There you go. Back into it. 2 versus 3. The bomb's still down. They're going to need to go for that defuse here. Reason Gaming, Oscar dropping 1. He drops the second as Glaive. And Hunton, even though he gets the final 1, it's got to be Oscar and the T side of CSGL to win this one up. Ladies and gentlemen, CSGO Lounge will win it 21-17, and they're going to take it 2-0 in total in this best of 3 series versus the guys at Reason Gaming. So, Harry, Gamers Forge, what do you think about the game, especially in that overtime?
Yeah, I know, it was really, really close. And then in that final round, it looked like Reason would have had that. But then, you know, just, I can't remember who it was in mid, but my God, the plays right then. I believe that would have been Oscar down inside of mid. And I believe he got like a double or a triple. And that definitely secured them that last round. And it was just phenomenal to watch. It was so close. And honestly, I thought Reason could have taken that. But CSGL is looking so strong there. And, you know, just like what we saw in Cobble, they're such a good team. But whenever they get momentum going, it's so hard to kind of put a stop to that. And we really saw that on this map, I think.
Yep, indeed. But, ladies and gentlemen, this will be it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful best of 3. Actually, did not expect that good of a play, especially on that second map. Combo was a bit of a quick one for CSGL. But I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow the channel down below. Obviously, a quick, big thank you for our sponsors at GOCL, obviously, Global Offensive Champions League, from G2A, Twitch, e-gaming bets, and Steel Series. And from all of us here at Nip TV, myself, Milos Demetic, and my buddy Harry at Gamers Forge. Hit us up on Twitter. Let us know at Nip TV, at GoCL, as well at Go Champions. We'll be back soon, hopefully tomorrow, for some more Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Good night.